Good morning. It is so beautiful out. I know I'm bundled up like I'm out here in the tundra. I don't play around, man. Don't play around. It's been a minute. And that's not even accurate because I did make the videos and they're actually posted or they're on YouTube. I just didn't undraft them. But then it's like, you know what? Because every week I would just keep going on and on until it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. So I think the last time I posted would be the Super Bowl or something like that. I'm just going to give you the rundown, everything that happened in the past 2 months. But first, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a nice Easter vacation or whatever you celebrate, time off from work. Hope you're healthy. All that good stuff. All right, so let's see. I think 2 months ago. I don't even know. 2 months ago, one of the third graders, because we have arts in the middle school. So one of the third graders was over there for art, and they went in the bathroom and they saw some racial slurs and death threats. So this little third grader reported it immediately, and then it became a thing. Of course, no one knew anything, right? Everyone's just like, I don't know. I don't go in the boys' bathroom, so I could say I don't know, but all the boys go in there and they're acting like they didn't see it. So then for a whole week, nobody knew nothing. But they're all happy about it, all smirking and smiling. So then the teachers, we came to the conclusion it was the 8th grade. But I was like, the 6th grade, they're not innocent either. 6th grade boys. Really, not anyone. Because I'm sure the girls knew too. So for about a week, they had no, they weren't budging. They were just like, I'm not talking. And they didn't. They were tight-lipped. But then eventually, we took away their recess. And at that point, that's when they started going on. I can't remember if I told you guys this, because again, it's been that while. But then at some point, and I didn't want to teach, I didn't want to see them. But I gave him a little speech saying, I grew up with racism all my life. I'm black. Some of you guys are black. We're minorities. Some of you might get kicked out of school. Gotta make better choices. I'm disappointed. And then after that, some of the girls started saying, oh, Mr. Bailey was upset. I think I know something. So then the next week, we narrowed it down to 5 boys, and they got suspended for a week. And then everyone else thought they were off the hook, which they were. While all that was happening, the play, which is the 8th grade, 5 of the cast, and some of them being the main parts, we're doing Aladdin. I think I talked about that. We're doing Aladdin Junior. 8th grade, it's kind of, they have to do it. They don't want to do it, but they have to. So the main 5 of our Aladdin, Jafar, Sultan, all these people, they're suspended for a week. The teachers are like, you know what, cancel the play because they don't deserve to have anything. Meanwhile, the art teacher, who is spearheading this by herself, and me, who said, you know what, I got your back because I know how it is at this school, and they would let you do it by yourself, so I got your back, whatever you need. And then the marketing intern, but she holds her own, but she's still the intern, so it's us 3, the newbies of the school. We're doing our practices, and the kids, they come back and they're still goofing around, like they just have no remorse. The teacher believes that they can change if we show them kindness. I'm all for, giving people a second and third chance, but these kids do not care. They do not care. But the show must go on. So, after they come back, they don't look remorseful, but whatever. For the play, we're having rehearsals, but the kids are not practicing at home, which they don't do homework. They don't. So that's a stressful thing. I had a field trip planned for my kids. I wanted to wait till they were like, responsible and they could listen to directions, but it's getting close. We have like 2 months left of school, and as it warms up, all the places are filling up. And the guy's like, the only open date we have is April 4th, which was last Monday or some shit. And I'm like, okay. So I tell the kids, we have a field trip. Get your permission slips in, blah, blah, blah. And they were pretty good about that. They the last field trip paper came in on the day of the field trip. And I felt bad because I wanted her to be a part of our trip, because my class, the current 6th grade, they haven't had a field trip like off campus on a bus for like 4 years. COVID is for 2, and then the year after, multiple teachers were quitting, and the year before COVID, teachers were quitting. So 4 years, no field trip, which is pretty sucky. Kids should get a field trip. I didn't really want to be the one to give it to them because they're so, they just they don't listen, as kids do. But I don't want to be, don't touch the rattlesnake. Don't touch the rattlesnake. I turn around and he's touching the rattlesnake. Didn't you hear me say, yeah, but I didn't know you meant today. I thought you meant tomorrow. They be saying these things. And they say it as if they believe it. And I believe them, believing that they believe that's why I'm telling them, I didn't. And they be getting all angry too. What? It's not my fault, the rattlesnake. So I expressed, I'm happy that we can do this, but I am nervous. I am worried. The day of the field trip, all week it was raining. Rain. And then on the day of our field trip, a little wet in the morning. Then when we got on the bus, the sun came out. And it was a great day. We went to Crystal Caves. At first, I didn't think it would be that exciting. It's just a cave, but a lot of them haven't been to the cave. Look at my friends in the background. I've never been so close. I hope they don't attack me, but at least it'll be on camera. Well, I don't think I would. Anyway, so Crystal Cave, a lot of them haven't been to the cave. A lot of them haven't been on a bus. A lot of them haven't had a field trip ever if they transferred in or they were sick on other field trip days. But we get there, and I told them from the get, you got to be respectful, sit down on the bus, don't be shouting. The principal came out and she's like, Mr. Bailey's been working hard to get this field trip. I'll give you a special treat if Mr. Bailey says you guys did a good job. Don't be shouting, sit down on the bus. As soon as we pull off, they start shouting and singing the Wheels on the Bus, which is so weird. And then they started cycling through all these songs: Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, and then the emo versions of these songs. It was cute, but they were shouting it. They're just. And I was worried the bus driver would be like, if you don't shut up, I'll pull this bus over. But the bus driver, he was cool. He didn't say anything when we got off. He didn't say anything when we came back on. And yeah. Chaperone wise, I had the art teacher who's doing the play. I had the marketing intern who is this marketing intern, and I had one of my students' moms who's also the volleyball coach, which is boys and girls. So it's perfect, you know. They know the teachers, they like the teachers, and yeah, we get there. I do all the paperwork. The weather's still holding up. We go into the cave. We had one little family with us, so we had to be quieter. They got told to be quiet a couple times, but we go inside the cave. Since it's been raining all week, all this like mountain drops are falling on our heads. I put my hood up and I could just hear the little whoop. But some people didn't have hoods, so they're just getting rained on inside of the cave. One kid was under like a waterfall. His shit was all wet. It's up. We come out the cave, we take some pictures, and then the second part was to sift for stones. It was optional. I threw it out there like, you guys want to do it, it's an extra $6. A lot of kids said they want to do it. Only 3 students didn't do it, because one, they did it before, and the other one, I guess he didn't think it would be cool. I didn't think it would be cool either. I thought the water would be cold, and I probably would have opted out too. But the kids started sifting through this bag of sand and started seeing these beautiful emeralds and pyrite and obsidian. And like, look what I got! And it came in different sizes. And then the one boy who didn't pay is like, how comes I don't get to do this? I said, because you didn't opt to pay. He said, oh. And at that point, I was going to be like, all right, I'll buy you a bag, just pay me back later. But I didn't, because he had the choice. And one of the girls who did it last year or years before, they brought in the bag. They kind of showed what it's going to look like. But we did that. Then we ate. And then we had like 30 minutes left, and the art teacher is like, let's play freeze tag. She used to work at this place, so she knows there's some space that they can do that. Now, what you got to remember is it was raining all week. So when we got to the mountain, it's like a little hill. I was thinking it's going to be muddy, but the hill, like this side, kind of, it's not as steep as that, but the hillside was pretty dry. Like when I touched it, it was just dry. So the kids are up there and they're trying to figure out who's it and blah, blah, blah. So some of the kids start rolling down the hill, just rolling down the hill, which was so cute because, you know, throughout life, being a kid, they're always on their freaking devices, you know? Technology, this and that. But the roll down the hill is just that pure bliss. And they're just happy. And again, it wasn't wet, which is so amazing because it's been raining. And everyone's rolling down the hill, having fun. I'm videotaping it for classroom memories. So then, 3 girls were way on the edge where the forest starts to come into the thing. I'm like, get back down here. And another girl was way over there where if a bear were to like haul her off, I couldn't get to her. I don't know if I'm chasing her down after a bear. Her mom was a chaperone, so maybe her mom would have got that mom strength and like beat up the bear. But she was really way out there. So they start playing tag, freeze tag, and they're running around. And then one boy, he's running down the hill to get away. Running down. And with your eyes, with your naked eyes, you can see that it's grass, and then it's just brown, mud. And you can see that it's kind of wet. And this boy keeps running. He gets down there, he tries to stop, and he slips. And then he just like, boop. And I was videotaping all this. I should put on World's Funniest Home Videos. That'd be funny. But he falls, and I don't know if he's okay. I mean, it's just muddy water. But then he stands up and he's like, "Nobody told me that it was wet down here. Nobody told me." And he's like, I don't know who. And it's like, kind of, even if someone told him, they don't listen. But you could see it. And like the whole time on this our thing, he was just going on about, and like trying to be the smartest kid. Actually, let me do this trail. So that was funny. And then another girl, she comes running down, and she keeps running to get away from getting tagged or whatever, but it's flat and you could actually see the water on there. So you can see the splashes she makes as she's running through it, and then she slips, and then she just falls into a puddle of mud and grass or whatever. And then she's just like, "Wah!" Then another girl, she runs and dives into the thing. And they get up and they got all this like mud on them, but again, it's like so wholesome. No one is upset, no one's crying, no one is fussing. It's just everyone's laughing. And then I look at the time, we got 2 minutes to get on the bus. So I'm like, time to line up. The kids line up. The one girl that was way down there, I'm like, can you go get her? And the kids go get her. We got on the bus maybe a minute late. I do roll call, and then we come back to the school, and again they start shouting their songs. And then we get back to class, and one kid, he's like, "Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Thank you." I mean, all year he was fussing with me because he wanted his mom to be a chaperone. I'm like, she can't because the paperwork takes 4 weeks and we only got 3 weeks, so she won't make it in time. Plus the principal said, no, just stick with teachers who are in the building. And, he's always like, how comes you just da-da-da? But on this, he's like, thank you. I really had a good time. Some other kid said that. And they didn't even have to say that. Just their smiles, the fact that everyone enjoyed it, even the cave part, because it's not every day you go into a cave. And they're just like, wow, look at this rock. Da-da-da-da-da. And they had little black lights and they're looking at the stuff. And we got back in time. And then I just kind of started decompressing. Nothing happened. No accidents. I think I gave out one Band-Aid. But it's stressful, man. Like at one point, there was this girl jumping across this little stream. Her mom was there, so if she, whatever, her mom would, whatever. But, and then they were running on the concrete to get to the bus. And if they would have fell, it wouldn't have been funny because they would have scraped their little knees or whatever. But yeah, I get back, tell the chaperones thank you. They all like emailed the principal or something. So then the principal calls me like, how was it? I'm like, she's like, I heard that it was good. I want to give them a prize. Like, they're not getting a prize. They had a fun time. That's their prize. But as far as listening, being quiet, shouting, one of the kids opened up the bus window because they have to open it up. Then everyone's like, I don't want to open up. Like, leave the window alone. And then she like sticks her head out, and then just as she pulls it in, you can hear the branches, because we hit a tree, like the branches like, brah, brah. Like that shit would have either poked her eye out because she was doing this, or scraped her face. Luckily, none of that happened, but just, it was just stressful. And I'm decompressing, and just want them, all I wanted was to get them there, have them have fun, get back in one piece with no incidents, and then have these memories. Because again, they haven't had a field trip before. And but yeah, man, a lot of this story is the bottom end of everything that's been going on. But who really cares about all that other stuff? It resolved itself. Actually, today's Sunday. On Friday, my kids, they play chess. They're in a chess club, and they invited me to be a guest. So I go down there. But as I'm walking in there, one of my girls says, one of the third grade girls, again, always third grade, vigilant. She's like, there's some swear words in the girls' bathroom. So my sixth grader is telling me what the third grader told her. So then I run up to tell the only woman in our building at that point, the eighth grade teacher. I'm like, the third grade girl told the sixth grade girl that there's writing in there. And as I'm telling her, she's on the phone with the principal, like, yeah, so maybe they already knew, or maybe because now again, I don't check the bathrooms, but they be checking. So maybe they already knew it, but it's like, come on, girls. We just had a big thing where the boys were being boys, and now you felt left out. But kids will be kids, I guess. Anything else? It's my birthday month. Yay. I want to make an album. I used to always make an album, but it was Japan. It worked because in Japan, we always have the break between March and April 20th or whatever. And that's usually when I would make my albums. But now I'm working, so I don't know if I can. I tried. I started something. I could piece some stuff together, but yeah. I'm gonna be 43. It's crazy. 43. The other day I went down to Philadelphia, and I went to my dorm where I first went to when I started going to Temple Center. It's called Presidential City. And I was there just walking around, and it's like, it's been 22 years since I've been in that spot, because I walked down to my dorm. And it's like, I never imagined how life would turn, you know? I mean, I was doing music, but I never knew that one day I'd be making music on an iPad. All that I had a Triton keyboard, look it up. Pretty expensive, pretty big. Swiss Beats, no, Pharrell, Neptunes were using it. Well, a lot of people were using it. But I could do all that on actually I have an app that is made by Triton. And really what you were paying for is the hardware, the branding, but like the microchip that makes the sound, like Nintendo, the little cartridge thing, it's just a chip. So they can emulate that if you had enough power, and iPhones, iPads can do that. So have the sounds of my Triton. It was like $2,000, $2,500 inside an app. But yeah, it's crazy, man. 22 years. That was before I even knew what Japan was. Well, I knew what a Japan was, but before I even went, because I just got to Temple. And it's crazy how life be, man. It's crazy. So you never know. Got some dogs over there. I don't get bit. Maybe I do. I can sue them. Get some money. Anything else? I started reading again. I mean, I should have been reading. Good morning. I should have been reading since a while. My plan was to read 43 books by the end of the year. I still got time. We still got time, but as I mentioned, everything that happened for the past couple of weeks has just been taxing, man. Stressful. I come home tired and I can't even say anything to my dad about it, because he'll just be all like, back in my day, we used to beat the kids. Well, we can't do that now. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I started reading again, or at least doing audiobooks, because I don't have time to sit down. I mean, you always have time, but like, I'm overwhelmed with school. We got 2 months left, so I'm just trying to figure out ways to assess them. So I got one assessment where it's like, all our science books are now on their iPads. It's in Google Classroom. All throughout the year, they don't bring their iPads. They're like, oh, I didn't know I needed my iPad. Oh, I left my iPad upstairs. Oh, my iPad's dead. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So I told them at the beginning of the last trimester, I said, listen, every day you need your iPad. It needs to be charged. Now, even, I try to give them leeway. Like, it don't got to be 100. It got to be at 10%. They're coming into class at 8%. But then the 10% didn't work because throughout the class, they're like getting up to charge it. I don't want all that foot traffic. So I'm like, 20% should be better. Got to be 20%. If you bring it to class, 20%, you get 1 point. And think of it like a quiz. So, I mean, I did the math for them, but they don't get it. If we have 30 days in April and 30 days in May and 20 days in March, because that's when the semester started, 20, 30, 30, 80. And you bring your iPad every day, that's 80 points. And if we don't have, so this new science curriculum that the diocese, the upper up said we need to do, there's no assessments, there's no tests in this book. It's all talking in class. So their grade is really if they can bring their iPad. If they can bring their iPad, and then, 80 out of 80 would be 100, the math, right? They missed one day, 79 points out of 80 would still be an A. They missed 10 days, but you can't fail. You just bring your iPad, and they're struggling with that. In addition, I have another grading system where it's like you get 5 points for the day. You get a guaranteed 5 points if you show up, if you're sitting in your seat, if you're not shouting, you have all your materials, excluding the iPad. That's a separate grade. And if there's any deliverables, you deliver it at the end of the class. My kids are getting 3s and 2s because they sit there the whole time. And granted, that's what they did all year. But they come into the class and they're just like, oh, the next game. I'm like, the girls will be like, and then he said, really, is that what we're talking about? So I posted up on our smart screen, like, I give them a 3 and I put a comment why they're getting a 3. But again, 5 points a day, there's 5, well, depending. 5 points a day, there's 5 days in a week, there's 20 days, because, it's not 30 per se, we don't go on the weekend. Good morning. But these are like easy points. Everyone more or less can get a 90 something. I mean, some days you're gonna have an off day. 90 something by coming to class, sitting down, have an iPad charged at 20%. And they are struggling. They like here's the answer book to the test. I don't feel like looking at it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I do like the system. So I might integrate it next year with, in addition to the tests and everything else, just being prepared, easy 5 points. But I have to meet with a parent next Friday because their grades dipped. Really smart kids. They can test really well, but they don't do classwork. They don't do homework. And, not every test was good. So their grades fell. And the parents like, why is my kid's grade so low? And, my answer is always, because they don't do nothing. But, yeah. But, 30 minutes, that's about it. That's everything. I hope you guys are safe, as always. And, yeah. Peace.